I'm back with another Use Soroban app update. This time it's all about logs. So up to this point, if you wanted to see something brought up in the UI here, you would have to return a value. So for example, I have this function save, takes in an element, u32, and it returns that same element. So pretty much does nothing, right? So we can, let's say, provide 42, and we get 42. Now, that's pretty simple, but let's try logging, all right? So I've seen this function before. It's log, bang, and then we provide the environment and something. So let's just do something, okay? So we compile this, and let's do 5. Okay, so nothing happens. Well, we have to enable logs in the compiler. So here's a setting toggle that will do just that. So if we recompile this thing, you can see that the size of the executable is now 285, up from 201. But if we do 42, we'll see that we have 42 as a return value, as well as something being logged on the right-hand side. Okay, well, it's useful to see what kind of elements that we have or inputs that we have in our function. So we just, let's try and log that. And let's see the element. Obviously, we're returning it again, but just for the sake of it. So 42, boom, we get 42 returned. Now the key of this function is to save something in storage. But first we have to retrieve before saving. So let's do let mutable list. All right, and list is going to be a vector of u32s, and we're going to take storage from the environment. We're going to get list, and we're going to unwrap, or let's do a new vector, an empty one, and close this up and then unwrap. All right, now we've written some lines of code. Let's test. Let's see what we have so far. So we can use log again, and let's print out what's inside of our list. Should be pretty interesting. And I think that's it, right? Simple log, recompile this, and let's do 2. All right, so we have an empty list right here. Pretty useful to know. Let's go ahead and modify this list by adding to the front. Push, front, and then element. Okay. Before we do anything, let's log this value again. Let's do after. So compile this. Ooh, we got an error. Oh, okay. So we moved this value. We got to use references here. Be mindful. Recompile it. And let's do 42, 32. Okay, so we have a list that's an empty vector and a list after that contains 32. That's all fine and dandy. But if we call save again, and let's do 5, we can see that list is still empty. So we got to make sure that we save it. And for that, we're going to call storage.set list, and we can move our list into this function. Okay, let's recompile. And let's see. So let's start with 1. Our list is empty, and then it contains 1. Let's call this again with 2. Our list is, to begin with, contains 1, and then it's 2 and 1. So we can see that push front pushes things in front of all the other elements. There's another method called push back. Let's compile this and see what kind of changes do we get. So it was 2 and 1 previously. If we do 1 and 2 again, we get 1 and 2 in that order. So logging is super useful, and as you can probably see, that logging it in the browser, like as rapidly as you've seen here, can be very helpful for developers. All right, excited to push this later next week, and I'll be coming back with more updates. Bye.